we have our three layers. So what can we do with these layers? First of all, let's say the mouse layer is sandwiched in between the dog and the dog and the cat layer. And let's say the dog layer had so many things over it, like so. And you also locked this layer here because you didn't want to mess with this. This is your masterpiece dog. But you want to work on the mouse layer. And you want to work on the eye. You wanted to modify the eye. Let's say orange. But you can't see it, right? You don't know what's going on here. You're trying to make it look like a human eye. You can't see it. Well, you could go to dog layer and unlock it and play with the opacity like this, and go back to the mouse layer, or lock this again just so you don't make a mistake, and go back to the mouse layer and then continue to work with the mouse layer. Now I can see through it. And if that works for you, that's good, because you get to see all the elements in the context of your drawing, right? So that's a very, very good option to do. Another option to do, of course, is to just make the dog layer invisible by selecting the check mark after the N. This way the dog layer completely disappears. This might not be that advantageous if you needed the layer on the top as some sort of guide, but this also works too. Okay, so that's what you can do with the layers here. So let's go and turn on the dog layer, and just because I made it opaque doesn't mean it has to stay that way. You can unlock it and return it back to 100%, the maximum. Okay. And remember, you can also punch holes or delete. Use your eraser tool. I'm going to use the eraser tool as an ink just to remain consistent. And punch layers, erase within this layer too. Okay. If you so often wish to make some sort of abstract piece like this. Let's go blue. Let's go blue. For instance, maybe this would be like this for the eye. Okay, and that's all on the dog layer. I made it invisible. Okay, so drawing your artwork will be much easier this way. Another advantage of the layers is that, let's say I really love what I did with the dog layer and I wanted to duplicate that. Just swipe, and right next to delete is duplicate. Be very careful, because your eye sees red, and more than likely you will touch delete. And when, not if you do, but when you do, just don't panic, just undo. Okay, and the undo button is, look on your screen here. Well, where else would you be looking, right? Is over here. That's the undo button right here. Okay. So back to what I was about to say. Let's say you want to duplicate the dog layer. Swipe and say duplicate. Okay, now there's another dog layer on top of that layer. Now I'm going to use my arrow key and I'm going to move it up so we can see it better. And I'm also going to like scale it down too. I'm scaling it down by these handles around the marching lines here, the marching ants. Okay, and since I'm here, I'm going to erase this here, but I can't erase this one because I'm not on that layer, right? I cannot erase the other arrow because I'm not on that layer. Okay, now that's another dog layer. So I'm going to make this dog layer, this other dog layer, a different color entirely. So what we want to do here is want to select on the dog layer and say alpha lock. Now this alpha lock locks all the colors in here, so all you can do is just color on top of the colors. It's easier just to show you. So I'm going to turn the dog layer on the top, and I'm going to go in and hide the dog layer on the bottom, and we're left with the dog layer on the top. You see? So here's the dog layer on the top. Okay, here's the dog layer on the bottom. I'm gonna go to dog layer on the bottom and just, you know what? I'm gonna go to dog layer on the bottom and just hide that too. Okay, and I'm going to lock it so we don't touch it. So what I did, once again, back to what we're doing, is I'm going to change the color of this top dog layer. And what I did was I touched the picture and I select on alpha locked. You notice that alpha lock has a check on it. This means that the only thing that I'm able to color is in the color itself. The rest of the canvas is invisible or transparent, as you see from the picture. The picture has that little grid, like a checkerboard grid on there. And like I stated before, it's easier to show than to explain. So I'm going to choose, let's choose another color that's totally different from the top. Let's make it green to make it easy. And I'm going to just draw on the canvas. And anywhere I draw on the canvas, I cannot draw outside the canvas. I'm just drawing really crazy right now. But the color just stays on the canvas itself. Notice the circles too, turning green, and everything on this canvas is turning green. Okay, if that's what I wanted to do. And you don't have to just, to show it again, you might, I'm going to make the cat layer, the mouse layer and the cat layer invisible by deselecting the check on the box and go back to the dog layer. And you see how I'm trying my best to draw on the canvas, but I'm only able to draw on the color of the canvas. Let's make an orange so you can see the squiggly line. See, only this right here, only the color can be drawn on the canvas. Okay, so that's one thing you can do with layers. Now I'm going to duplicate this again, and I'm going to have another dog layer on top of that one. And this would be good for, I guess, abstract patterns and stuff like that. And on this layer too is also alpha, because I haven't taken the alpha off. And for this one, I'm just going to make this red, so just so we can see a contrast. See how I'm just coloring it red. And you're not restricted to just one color either. It's purple, and this is pink in here, and this will be brown in there, and maybe a stripe. Okay, then I can also duplicate this one again and move this over here. And for this one, I'm going to take out the alpha. I'm going to remove the alpha. And now, since this dog, the topest of the dog, the top dog, I could draw on the canvas on the top dog one, right? I can draw anywhere because it doesn't have the alpha on there. So there's my masterpiece that I created using simple layers and alpha locks. So once again, alpha lock. This is no alpha lock, it's just a normal layer, and this is just a normal layer because you notice the alpha lock is not there. So I'm gonna stop now, and that was just one thing you could do with the canvas with the alpha lock. We'll go through the other ones on next videos. All right, thanks for watching.